How has been the learning experience of every young Filipino learner during this time of pandemic? Are they learning effectively or simply complying? As future elementary teachers, these are some of the many questions that linger in our questioning minds. Be with us today as we answer these questions. Good day, everyone. I am Melva Gabitoya with my co-researchers from the College of Education. We present our research paper entitled Learning Styles and Academic Performance of Students in Printed Modular Distance Learning. Amid the challenges the COVID-19 pandemic brought to the billions of students worldwide, the call for providing quality education that suffices the students' individual needs, including their learning styles, is a must. Learning style is defined as the preferences in the way people acquire and process information. Meanwhile, the Department of Education utilizes the printed modular distance learning or the PMDL modality. In this self-paced instruction, the students learn at their home through printed self-learning modules as the primary instructional tool without face-to-face interaction. For the past years, only a few studies have focused on the students' learning styles and academic performance in printed modular distance learning modality, specifically at the intermediate level in elementary schools in Negros Occidental, Philippines. This is the gap that this study would like to fill in. At this point, let us take a look at the questions this study aims to answer. What is the learning styles preference of the intermediate modular students? Visual, auditory, read or write, and kinesthetic. What is the level of preference for visual, auditory, read or write, and kinesthetic when grouped according to sex and grade level? Is there a significant relationship between learning styles and academic performance of intermediate modular students? Let us dwell on this methodology section. This quantitative research is in descriptive, comparative, and correlational design. The respondents are the grades 4, 5, and 6 modular students studying in Lagasan Elementary School for the school year 2021-2022. The 60 overall respondents were selected using the stratified random sampling method. Meanwhile, the researchers used a 20-item adapted research instrument contextualized in the PMDL modality and have a corresponding Hiligaynon translation. After obtaining approval from respective offices, the researchers secured the informed consent form of the parents or guardians to allow their children to be part of the study. Then, the advisor of each grade level assisted the researchers in distributing the questionnaires by attaching it to the self-learning modules. Also, along with the returning self-learning modules to the school, survey questionnaires were returned. In the overall process, strict adherence to the IATF protocols was observed. In analyzing the data gathered, the researchers utilized the frequency and percentage distribution for the statement of the problem number 1, while the mean and the standard deviation were utilized for the SOP2. Lastly, the chi-square test of association is the statistical tool used to evaluate SOP3. For the focal points of this presentation, here are the results generated. Table number 6 presents the learning style preference of the intermediate modular students. As shown on the table, out of 60 respondents, visual 14, auditory 11, read or writing 19, kinesthetic 4, and multiple learning styles 12. Most of them were read or write learners, and the fewest learners were kinesthetic. The result denotes that the dominant learning style of the students reading or writing matches the PMDL modality employed in the self-learning modules that require reading and writing. Table number 7 presents the level of preference for learning styles, namely visual, auditory, read or write, and kinesthetic when grouped according to sex and grade level. When grouped according to the variables, both gender and overall grade levels consistently have an average level of preference for reading or writing learning style. On the contrary, the kinesthetic learning style obtained a low level of preference for both variables utilized. Regardless of the sex and grade level, a strong preference for reading or writing learning style is evident, signifying the alignment of learning style is preferred to the PMDL modality. Table number 8 presents the relationship between learning styles and academic performance of the intermediate modular students. As the result shows, there is a substantial relationship between the learning styles and students' academic performance with a p-value of 0.027. The result shows that the learning style preference of the modular intermediate students affect how they perform academically in the PMDL setting. In conclusion, rather, in a nutshell, learning style is an essential element of learning style, particularly in an environment that promotes student centered learning in which printed modular distance learning is grounded. As shown by the result of this study, the learning styles are relevant in ensuring the seamless connection between how effectively students learn in PMDL modality, how they obtain learning experiences, and what learning resources and activities match their learning style preference. Furthermore, no research studies tackle the learning styles and academic performance of Negresan and modular intermediate students. This is the gap this study filled in because this is in the context of Negresanan. Also, this research study's output is the Learn with Your Learning Style, PMDL learning resources and activities. This output is anchored on VARC learning styles model by Neil Fleming and depth and most essential learning competencies. Learning is indeed challenging for all education sectors in this time of pandemic, but let's support the young learners in attaining quality education, for learning is possible no matter what modality it is. After all, learners are the heart of teaching. This has been the research group from the College of Education. Thank you, everyone.